Hello, it's Crypto CJ. It's the trade of the day. I'm rocking the FUD background, fear, uncertainty, and doubt or despair. A lot of bad news this week. Bitcoin's down 10% since last Friday. Ethereum about 12 to 15. A lot of red on my charts. And let's see. Coinbase is getting licensed in Bermuda, so the biggest U.S. exchange might be bolting. The SEC is doing everything they can to essentially shoo crypto out of the US. I mean, I've got people from all over the world on this Zoom, so it's not just US, but obviously this one hits home. So, and Terry from our group was lamenting on one of our Telegram chats, so he can have to find another line of work. I was thinking the same thing for a while this afternoon. Maybe it's just FUD. Maybe it'll blow over. Who knows? But the usual Friday feeling isn't, we're not quite feeling it today, but Craig brought up something in our pre-chat. The European Union is looking like it's being friendlier to crypto, so that's good news. Maybe that'll pressure the US to get on the ball. It's just so frustrating to me as an American that we're not on the cutting edge of this new technology, and instead we seem to be resisting it we meaning the government, resisting it as much as possible to keep the crusty old dollar as the mainstay. I get that to some degree, but we gotta move with the times. But enough preaching. Let's look at the charts, and then we'll all chime in. Okay, Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
Thank you. And yeah, since our last Zoom on Friday the 14th, today's the 21st, we're down over 10%. 3 red candles in a row. Today will be probably confirm that third one. We thought it was just a retrace and then a bounce back up. We had a nice rebound there on Wednesday, but 3 red candles since then on the day chart's not good. Ethereum looks a little worse. I had drawn a new structure, but Ethereum dove back into my prior structure, so I just extended that one. It could be difficult to get back over 2,000, but currently at 1840, down 5% today. Not good. Well, any thoughts or anybody want to chime in on some of the things I just threw out there, or the markets overall, before we look at some trades?
Well, the question is why?
Why, indeed.
And it seems to be a part of the Gary Gensler stuff, the Ethereum coming off staking, and just all the FUD that's around at the moment.
Yeah, could just be a brief blast of FUD for a week or two, and then we'll come back. We've gone through these kind of things before. It reminds me of China bans crypto again. They seem to ban crypto quarterly, like one of those headlines. But this one sort of came out of, I can't say it came out of nowhere, but we were having such a nice hump up from from last month that some corrections are healthy, so maybe we're overreacting. But the Coinbase news was disturbing. An exchange that large is setting up to exit. That's a concern, and we've always had problems in the U.S. of onboarding anyway. Turning our cash into crypto to get started. So we'll see. Any other comments?
So do you just need a friendly offshore mate to help you out?
Maybe. Send Craig your cash and he'll turn it into crypto for a modest fee. We still have the VPNs and things like that, but if there's some legislation talking about outlawing those, so we'll figure it out, or I'll move to Dubai or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into some trades. Got Altcoin Alert up, and I'm gonna refresh. I'm on the altcoin radar option. Gonna look at the AA scores first. Since some of you trade spot, I'll look for, some spot approaches, and then those of you who trade leverage, we'll, since it's Friday afternoon, we'll focus a little bit more than our Monday call on potential shorts for over the weekend. Some good news, my 1-2-3 dip strategy, focusing on the 15-minute RSI, has done really well. So we'll talk about that too. Okay, I'm usually looking, when I sort by the AA score, I'm looking for values 80 or higher. We don't have any like that. We've got a couple that are close, Quantum and Ocean, both coins I've traded before. I was looking at Ocean earlier. Let's check it out. Let's start from the 5-minute chart first. And trading view is a little pokey today. All right, we're in a dip sequence. It's kind of a sloppy one. It's not a real clean one. Usually like to see a squeeze and then a bubble. Instead, we're just kind of, coasting down. If you consider this our squeeze and this our bubble, we've got essentially a single dip. So maybe you can call it the second dip. So I've been less rigid on the dips, more so than the overall, in like the three separate dips, more so than the overall dip sequence and then a recovery. That's been more of my focus, and I'll talk about that shortly. But anyway, if we're at essentially support for the 5-minute chart, so I don't really see anywhere to put a price alert. We go out to the 15. Again, we're down below. Yeah, since we've had this drop over the week, pretty consistent last 3 days, probably have to go, yeah, to a 4-hour chart to find some place to put a price alert. We had a dip on Sunday down to 34.7 cents on Ocean, so that's probably where I would put it. Though if I have to go all the way out to a 4-hour chart to find something like that, I'm probably not going to be focused on that. So instead, we're going to head over to my 15-minute chart and see what we can do with divergence. And obviously, since we're trending down pretty hard, all the negative divergences have done well. And the two most recent positive divergences have done pretty well too. So that's intriguing. This one fired a couple hours ago, so we don't know. Yeah, it just missed 1% and then dipped down again. So divergence looks pretty good, especially on the short side. On SuperTrend, the sell's looking good. The buy looks good as well. So I think either of these would be options. If you're trading spot on the SuperTrend, add an alert like this. The buy comes up first anyway. Your options are buy, sell, and direction change. I mostly use the direction change. Then once per bar, close keeps it open throughout the day. And then I would call this AA score and be good to go. I think I already set yeah, I went with divergence on this one. Yeah, and on divergence, let's look at that real quick on how to do an alert. Right click here. The negative comes up first. If you want positive, you can just scroll down, click on positive. Once per bar close. If you want to go both directions, and I frequently do, you'll need an alert for each direction. Okay, and then on this setup, my 1-2-3 dip pump setup, I need to combine these on one chart. I'll probably do that before Monday. This one's done really well. This is Ant. This is one I was trading earlier and did pretty well with. Let's go over to Ocean. We were looking at that one. Yeah, so these are doing pretty well. We had a couple drops below the 30 here, and here. Eventually those had a nice pump up. We had a drop here below the 30 at this point, and again at this point. And those did really well. You know, down 1%, and this big move here. And then this cross here on the bottom side. Gone against us at first, but then eventually would have been profitable as much as, you know, almost 4% if you stayed in essentially the whole day. Then obviously this one dropping caught this nice move down. So I don't think this one is quite crossed yet. So this one might be decent if it shoots back up. And this is how I like to do my RSI alerts. If you're just going long on spot trading, click on your RSI alert there, crossing up, value crossing 30. Whoa. Once per bar close and a score, and you're good to go. If you want to trade both directions, you can go with the entering the channel, 70, 30, once per bar close, click create. It creates this rectangle here. So when it goes up above, nothing happens. When it comes from above back down below, then you get an alert. Your alert goes off. So then you're catching this move here. And then the same thing when it drops below and comes back up, then this would trigger probably here. You get that move. So I've been doing this. I had done this a little bit last year, but I got back to it about in the last 10 days. It's done pretty well. I think I've had, you know, 20 straight profitable trades with ladder buying on maybe a third of them. So I'm liking it so far. And anyway, so any questions on the RSI alerts or anything we looked at on Ocean? Okay. Let's look at another one. That was the AA score. Let's do a social activity sort. I'm looking for fire or thumbs up on the social activity, which is usually the Twitter data, some comparison of it. Then trading activity as well, matching that up. If I see fire on both or, you know, thumbs up on both, that's something I want to look at further. And I've got Polymath. I don't trade that very often. Serum, no. Zill, I traded this a couple times successfully today. Got fire on both social activity and trading activity. Let's check it out. Okay. Oops. Wow, the computer is slow today, guys. Sorry about that. All right, we just missed a dip sequence on this. We got a squeeze and then a bubble. 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 4 dips. And then this is the move. So to this level here, where this resistance is almost 3%. Might have hit it, might not. Up to the Bollinger Band from there would have been about 4%. You'd still be in that trade, but that would have been a pretty good entry on a 1, 2, 3 dip on the 5-minute chart. This little area of support would be a good place for a price alert, right around 30 or 3 cents. Right click, add an alert. And social activity sort. And you're good to go for your price alert. On the 15-minute chart and indicators, let's check those out. if they ever load. All right. Divergence did really well on this. Yeah, all these moves on Zill. You know, I'm looking for at least a 1% move each time I evaluate past instances of divergence. And each one I'm looking at has, you know, it's either something I have to measure and I see that it's 1% or more, or something that's obvious. You know, something like this, you know, is obvious when it shoots up this much. And that was an excellent entry here. And even this one from about an hour ago, you know, 2.5%. So good stuff on the long side, and the shorts are really good too. You know, 2.6%, and then obviously there's a huge move down. So yeah, divergence looks really good at the moment. And SuperTrend is accurate as well. This buy signal is a little late, so maybe you have to wait till this move to cash in on that one. But otherwise, yeah, the last 4 or 5 SuperTrend signals have been good on this token. I've been using divergence more because I want to make more trades. And the downside of the SuperTrend is it's not going to give you another signal. You know, you'll get a buy signal here, but you won't get another buy signal in here unless you go on a smaller time frame. And then you get a lot of false alerts. So I found, at least for me, on day trading, 15 minutes is the sweet spot for these alerts. Okay, so either approach would be good. If you don't want to trade a lot, maybe hold out for longer numbers, the SuperTrend might be the way to go. On our RSI for the 1, 2, 3 dip, let's check that out. And this alert I still have going. And I did this one earlier today and hit my goal. I was just looking for 1% on 10x leverage, and I got that pretty quickly. Yeah, this is from 3 in the morning, or I would have caught that one too on the short side. So yeah, the RSI is looking good on Zill at the moment. Let's start back here. It drops on, this is on Wednesday morning. You get in right about here, and there's your 1%. If you set your alert on, say, 32 or 33, you'll get a few more entries. Like the 30 would have missed this one, but would have caught this one. Would have missed this one, but would have caught this one. It would have missed some of these ones that were close, but didn't quite get down there. So when I see touches like this that look like good moves to me, then I'll go ahead and raise my alert. Like I'm gonna edit this one. So you see I had the 70 to 30 set up, but I'm gonna put this on, say, 32. Save it, and the rest I already have the way I want. So it didn't change. Oh, there it is. It's just being slow. So that was a convoluted way of how to do that alert. Any questions on Zill? Okay. Let's do another sort. So we've done AA score and social activity. I've looked at the hour projected range. I haven't really seen anything that appeals to me. That seems to be the case now. So I'll go back to an oldie but goodie. Probably my second favorite sort is the long-term sentiment. Usually either that one or the Elder Impulse. Long-term sentiment's even has long in the name. It's actually a smaller look or comparison of Twitter data, what people are talking about online. Elder Impulse is a technical indicator. When these two line up, they're similar to social and trading, but there's a little more data on the long-term sentiment. And so that's usually my second go-to. Polymath shows up again as bullish and bullish. Zillow we just looked at. AST, I don't know that one. Harmony. We can look at that one. The one coin. All right, 5-minute chart. Just kind of cruising down today from the top, that top Bollinger Band from earlier this morning. Just kind of straight down. There's some support right here, but we're pretty close to it already. Support alerts, yeah, you probably have to go out to the 2 or 4 hour to get a good idea where this one was earlier in the week. Again, not my jam. So I'm gonna bounce over to the 15 and look at my alerts or my indicators. A lot of bullish divergence on this one. Again, this is a contrarian indicator, so when the market's trending down, you get bullish divergence, and when it's shooting up, you get bearish. Like here's an example here where it's shooting up, caught this bearish one, and then caught this move down. I like the predictability of this indicator. I mean, it's far from perfect, but one of the better ones I've seen is predicting the future. And again, we've talked about it many times on here. A quick review. Divergence is a disagreement between the candle action and the what the indicator says. So obviously on bullish divergence, we have candle action going down, but the indicator going up. So that can be a sign that something is about to change. And this one's pretty accurate. The downside of this particular one, the divergence of many indicators version 4 is it does repaint. So, but it's alert friendly, which is why I use it. For example, this, and then this other one I set up does not repaint. So that might have triggered over here, somewhere between here and here is where that would have happened. And then we actually get the one that stays here. There's your 2% move. So my back testing that I'm showing you is a bit flawed, to be honest. And this one did not do well. If you're ladder buying shorts, maybe you get out about here. I'm using a third-party software called Carbon, and the strategy I'm using is to ladder buy every 2% and then stop loss at 10%. So that's worked really well, even in this, with all the turbulence we've had the last couple days. So I'm encouraged by it. I've
Say that
traded that
again,
strategy before,
CJ.
but I've done manually.
Say
What's
that
that, Craig?
again. What was it? What was the strategy?
It's
How much negative for your ladder buy?
it's 2%. It's 2%
Okay.
on a chart. So be
Oh,
probably
on the
20.
chart.
Yeah, if you're using 10x leverage, it'd be 20%.
Right.
Right. So, and, I've talked about iCoin Pro on Mondays. They say get out at 10% loss, and they do their ladder buys at smaller increments than I've done in the past. And so I've kind of gone back to the basics on that, is to do the ladder buys quickly and then, stop out at that 10% and just know that's going to happen probably a few times a month, and it might take a few days to recover that loss, but overall that should be profitable in theory. We'll see. Okay, so on this particular coin, on Harmony, the bullish divergences I'm seeing during this dump are hit and miss. So I don't know if I would use that. On SuperTrend, they're obviously less frequent, but well, this one was poor. But this one did pretty well, maybe. Yeah, 1%. So again, just looking for 1% on leverage. The SuperTrend does pretty well. If you're trying to get that, that 3 to 5% that Altcoin Alert talks about, That might be harder to do on the 15-minute chart. You might have to go to the 30 if you're trying to go long on, or even the hour. If you're going long on spot trades, but you're just not going to get many signals. I mean, the last one on the hour chart's from Sunday, so I don't know how that useful it is if you're day trading. That's why I like that 15-minute, but for example, on this one, 7 in the morning on Thursday, I probably would have gotten in. You know, I would have ladder bought 3 times. Yeah, this probably would have been, this would have been a loss. So that's a bad example, but yeah, this one's not bad. At least on the leverage portion. Yeah. So for my purposes, going for 1% move on a chart and 10% leverage, you know, that would have worked okay, at least on that entry. This one probably would have been a loss. Okay, so I'm not loving SuperTrend on Harmony either. Let's see if we get better results on 1, 2, 3 dip pump approach. Okay. We've got a dip here, a nice move up. Doesn't quite hit the, yeah, we're at 68 here. I do have a 68 set today for a move like this, where I saw a few of them that didn't quite hit 70, you know, the overbought area. That's another good one here. And this one, probably not. Yeah. Yeah, maybe my ladder buy gets me out here. Yeah, after a couple of them. Where I have essentially 3 trades at this point. My first one's a small loss, my middle one breaks even, and my second one's my third one is a really good profit. So the 3 average out to being, you know, about a 1% profit. This entry did well. This entry remains to be seen, but we don't have any that go above for the pump. So in this scenario, my alert would look like entering a channel. Instead of 70, I go with 68. And I'd stay with 30 on the low side, once per bar close. And that was long-term sentiment. So that's the approach of the 3 that I looked at that I like the most. Any questions on Harmony or the OneCoin? Okay. And we'll look at one more. We'll wrap it up. Okay. Another one you can do, it's a 24-hour change. You can do this on free services as well, like CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko and things like that. You can see what's pumped for the day. I usually avoid double digits so much, like high double digits or, you know, like 25 or 40%, thinking that's played out. I look on the spot side anyway of like maybe 5 to 8 to up to 12%. And I'm not really seeing any of those. You know, coins that I star are coins that I trade with some frequency. We've got 3.94 here on Civic. So I'm not loving that. But we haven't looked for a short yet today. So we can sort this the opposite way. What's crap? What's dumping? Render was pumping last week or the week before. I was trading it, and I've been shorting it lately and doing pretty well with it. Dusk as well, and CFX. So these are 3 candidates for being shorted. Let's go ahead and look at our divergence and SuperTrend for short opportunity. Which one do I want? Let's go with render. Okay, well, if you don't want to use an indicator alert, you can look for a pump. Like you've got, you want to look for resistance instead of support. So there's some resistance here around $1.70. Again, in this vicinity, $1.74, $1.75. Up here, around $1.80. Maybe every 5 cents you could put an alert if you want. And reevaluate for a short. I like my indicators on the 15-minute chart. So I'm going to head over there, pull up some divergence. And obviously the bearish divergences, the last 3 have been profitable. This one you might have had to wait for the other one to 2% move down. That's really good. If you're shorting something, you're probably on some leverage, 5 or 10x. If you are new to trading, you haven't spot traded yet, you should do that first and get familiar with it before you start trading on leverage. Yeah, divergence looks good here. Right click on that, add an alert, negative once per bar close. That was a 24-hour change sort. And that's going to be my Friday sort. Let's look at the other indicators, see how those look. SuperTrend. It's being pokey. We'll come back to that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, both sell signals do really, really well. And this is the fun part of SuperTrend is when you get a strong move like this. There's just a little retrace. You don't take that one because you think the direction is going down, and then the other sell kicks in, maybe an hour and a half later, and you take that one and keep riding it down. Good stuff there on the short side. Okay, now instead of entering a structure, we're just going to use the top value on the RSI. So let's do a quick review. Might want to go with a 68 on this one too. Each of the 68s have dropped. There's a big move down there. This one crosses a small move, then a big move down. And obviously this one has a nice move down as well. So right click on RSI alert. We're gonna go crossing down. Can we decide on 68 once per bar close? That's going to be AA 24-hour change sort. And that's I've got 2 short alerts on render. So, well, we're at right about 35 minutes where I like to be on Friday. Any questions about what we've discussed on these trading options, or any coins you want to look at, anything like that? Okay. I'll go ahead and stop the recording here. If you're watching on that, I appreciate it. Have a good weekend. Please check out the opportunities in the pinned comment to help fund the channel. If you are a Carbon member, stick around. We will start that one soon. I might restart my computer, so if it takes me longer than usual to get back, you know why. All right, be right back.